Right, so is this a truth or a lie? Did example
I don't know, but I want it to be over.
getting a novelty photo booth with Stephen Hawking?
I really hope he fucking did, because this is quite offensive if he didn't.
I was once in a novelty photo booth with Stephen Hawking.
With Stephen Hawking.
Well,
Who initiated? Did he want to pick with you? Did you want to pick with him?
I was told by another celebrity that I should get in. I was just staring at Stephen Hawking, or Mr. Hawking as I know him.
Why?
as you know him.
Like, in fact, by the end of the party, I just knew him as Stevie H. The other celeb whose house party it was said,
Who's that?
Jimmy Carr.
Okay.
Has just said, lean in, he wants a photo with you. And obviously he doesn't really...
Why is Jimmy talking on behalf of Stephen?
God.
So
Brilliant.
Jimmy Carr is his party,
Right.
and everyone's sort of coming and going, fuck, it's Stephen Hawking. And like, what do you do? And he
Just let him enjoy his night.
uses his eyelids to type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does it in a way where as if like predictive text. So he is actually in the documentary about him, and he chooses words quickly, and they lead to other words. You know, like predictive sentence writing.
Yeah.
And then he can write questions, and then he hits enter, and then it asks you the question. I got in the photo, and I've got a photo booth with Stephen Hawking, and yeah, I don't really know what other details I can give you. Like, he didn't say much.
Why was Stephen Hawking at Jimmy Carr's house?
Stephen Hawking had been to see Jimmy Carr doing stand-up in Cambridge, I think. Where is it Stephen Hawking lived?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Was it Cambridge, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So he was playing a stand-up show in Cambridge, and obviously Jimmy's got a call. He's one of the most famous comedians in the world, certainly in Britain. Said, Stephen Hawking wants to come down and watch you. And he's like, cool, we'll give him a balcony seat. He's come down and watched him, and then they became friends. And I don't know at what pace they converse. Maybe they chat more over email.
How big was the photo booth? Because
Well, no, it wasn't a photo booth. It was more like a camera set up with a square around it and a curtain behind it. So it was like a makeshift photo booth.
What made it novelty?
Huh? Well, the fact it was at Jimmy Carr's house.
Were you wearing
Stephen Hawking.
Were you wearing some funny glasses? Were you wearing?
It was on Cinco de Mayo, Day of the Dead.
Jimmy Carr was having a
Is it a
5th of May, yeah.
Well, because he wants a house party, so you've got to have a theme. And if there's one in May and it's not your birthday, have a Cinco de Mayo, and then you can have Mexican food.
Yeah.
Like tacos, burritos.
Yeah, no, I've heard of him.
So what? You were wearing a Mexican hat.
No, I was
Hawkins
just in my normal
got some
clothes.
maracas. What is it?
I was just maracas.
Hang on. You would give Stephen the hat. You wouldn't give him the maracas, would you, Alfie? Think about it. Why is he getting the maracas?
Just hold him.
We can't hold him, can he?
Just place him in.
No, give him the hat. Give Stephen Hawking the hat.
I don't know. I thought it was demeaning to put him in a hat. I don't know why.
Right, so is this a truth or a lie? Did example
I don't know, but I want it to be over.
getting a novelty photo booth with Stephen Hawking?
I really hope he fucking did, because this is quite offensive if he didn't.
I don't think he did because.
He just said it's part of my lie.
Yeah.
He literally just went, I don't know.
Nah,
That
it
wasn't
started
a
off
part
as
of
a
my
photo
lie.
booth, then it's like, oh, we can't get him in the booth. Then it's like, oh, it's not novelty, so, you know,
What are you going for?
lie.
Lie.
Example, is it a truth or a lie?
It's true.
No way! No way, man!
Oh!
No way!
Yeah, I'll get
Oh,
it
you're
right
going to
here.
show us the photo?
Yeah, I'll get it right here.
God!
He is
so
probably,
glad.
It's not offensive now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
he is probably the most impressive human ever.
Yeah.
And you've just gone to Cinco de Mayo with
Got a
him.
selfie with
Oh, wait.
him.
In fact, here's another photo from the party. So it's Jimmy Carr, Gabe Turner, who directed the new Ed Sheeran documentary for Disney, Freddie Flintoff, me, John Bishop, and Stephen Hawking.
Oh my God.
That is mental.
Wow.
About 5 minutes before that, I did the photo booth.
Wow. Do you have the photo booth photo?
I think Erin took it in the divorce. No, I've got it somewhere.
Did you? I would be scared to chat to him because he's so smart that
did you talk to him
anything I
about?
say,
Yeah.
he's going to think I'm an idiot.
He didn't say much,
No.
I'll be honest, but he's, good guy.
Is it quite like, because he is obviously a genius, isn't he, right? So I would have so many questions for him, but because it's hard for him to communicate, is it a bit awkward? Because you'll like say something to him and then there's
Yeah,
a delay.
it's weird because you're like, everyone obviously wanted to talk to him or look at him, and then after a while, and then Jimmy's there, who's met him a few times, and Jimmy's obviously like, he's like, just be patient, look at the screen, something will come up, and then he'll ask a question. He might comment on something, and then you say something back, and his nurse is there, his carer, and she was kind of talking as well, and she was really just quite theatrical and upbeat, and she's just like, oh yes, yeah, lean in with him, he's fine. Stephen loves it. He's not moving, but he's taking it all in, and really, and like really. So then you're kind of just leaning in and going like that, and she's going, honestly, don't be weird about it. He's fine. And then like every 20, 30 seconds, almost like a ticker tape, like something would pop up on the screen. You'd read it, and then you go, oh, that was for him, and that was for her, and so he's taking 20, 30 seconds to type each sentence with his eyelid, and or blinking or whatever, and then that would be the nurse would help everyone work out what the statement was, and then there were no questions because you can't really have a conversation. It was just him taking everything in around the room and commenting on someone's outfit or someone's joke. That was funny what you just said, or.
I've heard he was actually quite funny as well.
Yeah.
He was really funny, really cheeky.
Yeah,
really cheeky.
Wow.
Wasn't he?
And that's why he loves Jimmy Carr's humour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because he just loved sharp, witty one-liners.
That's incredible.
That's
But
mad.
yeah, I
That's mad.
reckon I probably said 2 or 3 things to him. He said 2 or 3 things to me, and he was at the party for about 2 hours, and then he went back to his house.
Love it.
You chatted to the
Everyone
guy
at
that
the
made
party
Black
had
Holes. It's mad.
a photo booth with Stephen Hawking.
That's incredible.
I bumped into the Queen in a factory.
Why were you in a factory?
It was in Wales.
That hasn't. You just told me where the factory was. I said, why were you there?
It was a water bottling factory, and I'm a
What, like the water bottle you're holding right there?
and I'm an
the bottle
ambassador
lids
for
on.
the water that was bottled there.
What is it?
Life water.
So you're going against the contract, drinking that on camera, aren't you?
Well, and I'm an ambassador for them. I'm not sponsored. by
Okay,
them,
fair
am I?
enough.
Right.
I
Yeah.
give clean water to people all over the world, you loser.
I'm not against that.
And yeah, I just, they were like, do you want to come down to Pembrokeshire, I think it was, and meet the Queen? She's going to be in a factory. She's going to be in the water bottling factory. And I was just like, fucking might as well, got nothing else on. But it was actually, weirdly, it was the same day I was invited to play tennis at Buckingham Palace.
So what?
No way.
You're there. I'll meet you. At
Well,
home.
no.
She was in Wales, mate.
Liz, I'll
No,
meet you at
so
home.
on the Wednesday, I was invited to play tennis at Buckingham Palace.
Who with?
Princess Beatrice, who I'd met at Jimmy Carr's house.
With Stephen Hawking.
No, she was at the party before that.
Okay.
So I was invited to play tennis at Buckingham Palace by
Okay.
Princess Beatrice on a Wednesday. She invited me to come on a Friday.
Thank God it went to Tuesday.
And the
Send a
same
nude.
day that I was invited to Buckingham Palace to play tennis and not meet the Queen, I randomly was invited to meet the Queen at a water bottling plant in Wales
Right.
Wow.
with Life Water's boss, Simon, who's a good friend of mine.
Is the Queen an ambassador for Life Water?
No, she was there to just meet the people of that area, the factory.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Because she just tours, doesn't she? Well,
Is she Queen of Wales as well?
yeah,
Wales.
well, yeah, I assume so. She's the Queen of the Commonwealth, and Wales is in the Commonwealth, isn't it? Because they're in the Commonwealth Games.
Decent that from you.
Decent, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you good at tennis?
I'm not, but I was going to play just because it was Buckingham Palace. They've only got one court. Apparently, it's right at the back.
Is it a clay court?
It's grass.
It'd be mental if it's clay.
Why
You're
tennis
mental.
then?
Yeah,
why,
well, that's
why not
France.
just come round for a cup of tea?
Because
Why
Princess
tennis?
Beatrice loves tennis.
Yeah.
And-
so
and-
much
and-
that she just anyone that comes round, she wants to play tennis.
Well,
with.
no, we're at Jimmy Carr's house where Stephen Hawking was. So.
Do you know this building we're in now? This
Yeah.
is actually true. Princess Beatrice. I can't say why, but she's been in this building loads of times.
I know that too.
Yeah, it's true. isn't
Yeah.
it?
Playing tennis.
Yeah.
So you knew Queenie was going to be there.
I was told.
What'd you do when you meet her?
I met her for about 15 seconds, and there was a Welsh guy there, and his name was David, and he went, or Daffyd,
Yeah.
and he went, Your Majesty, I believe example here, Elliot, he knows your niece, your granddaughter. Yeah, anyway, he introduced me. So before we met, it was said something like, oh, this guy should have been at Buckingham Palace today, lol.
Did
say
she
lol?
laugh? Did she laugh?
Yeah, and she thought I was a nutter.
Really?
Yeah,
Was she a bit cold towards you?
yeah, because she thought I was lying, obviously.
Right.
That's rude.
Did you ever go and play tennis?
No, I never got invited to play tennis at Buckingham Palace.
So when you meet her, do you have to do a little bow or anything like that?
Yeah, so I've met the Queen 3 times.
Okay.
So, and this was the first of 3. First of 3.
Were you nervous?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably really nervous. And women are taught to curtsy, and men just bow. And it's not one hand in front of the other, it's just like that. And obviously don't headbutt her. And
Did I tell you that?
Do not head
but, yeah, there was like a royal aide who was there. Like, so every time I've met the Queen, they talk you through. And I was there going, I've met the Queen before. I
Wow.
already know the protocol.
Wow.
And then bless him, there was a little boy practicing his curtsy, and you're like, no, mate, you're a bower.
You're a bower.
You're a bower.
You're a bower,
All right?
Harry.
You're a bower, Harry.
Right, okay. Is this a truth or a lie?
I believe it.
Yeah, I think I do.
It's crazy, but I believe
true.
it.
You going for a truth?
Yeah.
You going for a truth?
Yeah.
Is it true or a lie?
It's all true.
No,
Yes!
wow, mate. What a life.